Mr. Mike,
Hey Ken, how are
VOA.
you?
Tell you, my wife got me a Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow, I'm drinking my own brewed coffee this morning
Oh, I like
in
that.
my dad cup.
I will say, not to give a free pitch to Dunkin' Donuts, but their toasted almond coffee. Oh man,
I'm a Dunkin' Midnight coffee guy. They're dark roast. I think it's
I,
great.
it's great. Do you put cream in it, milk in it?
Very little.
Yeah. See, I have never gotten into the habit of coffee, and because I do the intermittent dieting still.
Intermittent dieting what?
So the intermittent diet is where you have an 8 hour window in which you eat. So I eat between 12 and 8, 12 noon to 8. That's it. At 8 o'clock, I stop eating. I don't eat till 12. And what happens is, like at 6 or 7 in the morning, your body starts burning the fat because it doesn't have food to burn. Listen, I'm telling you, Mike Violet, listen to me. I
Okay.
wasn't overweight, but my eating habits were getting really bad. And was eating fried food and dessert.
I have a leg that weighs more than you.
But I was up to about 160 pounds, which is a lot
Oh
for me.
my God.
I'm 5'5". Shut up. I did this prolonged diet, which my friend Michael DeCandy had turned me on to, which is not a diet. It's not fasting. It's basically you eating cardboard for 5 or 6 days. So it's so bad you don't want to eat it. But I went down to 143 pounds
Wow.
in 6 days. 6 days. And I've kept it off because I haven't been eating fried food. I haven't been eating desserts once a week. I'll eat a dessert. Um, and I do the intermittent diet. And I'm telling you, I've kept off basically 17 pounds, 16 pounds
Wow.
since my birthday. I haven't drank beer. Stopped beer completely because
You're such a heavy beer
I
drinker.
was drinking 2 beers a day, man. I was
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I love Stella beer, man. I love Stella.
It's good.
Stella. So now I started drinking Michelob Ultra again, but
Yeah.
so anyway, I'm just telling you if you okay. So here's what I want to talk to you about today. Texas,
Tejas.
which I wish they would just secede from the union as they're permitted to do. They can divide into five states. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so John Cornyn was defeated 2-1
Yeah.
by Ken Paxton. And I'm telling you, Ken Paxton makes Donald Trump look moral and ethical. I gotta tell you, he got impeached by the Texas legislature. I mean, Texas doesn't impeach men, white men. They don't do that. Remember, Texas is the only state that has no alimony and has jury trials for custody. And
And
by the
that's
way,
and
just
that's good or bad.
for men, it's great. For women, it sucks. And their child support guidelines, they cap for calculating child support, they cap men's income at like $87,000. So the child support's like, yeah, 1,500 a month. It's like, let me tell you something. If you're a man and guy get divorced, go try and be a resident of Texas. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say.
Um, Fine. I'm out of the marriage business, so
So
um,
here's my premise about what Donald Trump has an iron grip on the Republican Party. Iron grip. He does. He went 4-0 yesterday with his backed candidates. Now remember, these are the Republican primaries and they're closed primaries, right? They're not, Democrats can't come in, independents can't come in and try and mess up the nominations. But I think he's hurting the Republicans in the general election because I think, and you and I have always agreed on this, it's the 10% in the middle. Now, you and I have also said, how can anybody on earth be undecided? I mean,
well, yeah, it might be more like 20%, but anyway.
okay, so even better. That 10 to 20% really, because Democrats are going to vote for Democrats and Republicans are going to vote for Republicans. If you're true and diehard Democrat and Republican, you're going to vote for the party. You're going to do that no matter what, right? But the 10 or 20 who kind of waffle and I don't know what I am. I've lost my identity in the world. They're, if you look at Trump's poll numbers, I don't believe in polls, so don't. But his approval rating is in the tank. Those people are not going to come out. I mean, when Donald Trump was on the ballot, the MAGA people came out. They didn't always vote down the party. Some people vote, some of them vote for Donald Trump and then didn't vote for anybody else in the entire ballot.
Mm.
I mean, if you look at some of the Senate candidates, they got less votes than Donald Trump got because MAGA would vote for Trump and then leave, right? I think that he is giving the Democrats a chance of actually winning the Senate. And 3 months ago, I would have said that's an impossibility. I don't think so. I think Talarico could win. I'm not saying he's going to. It's a long shot. But if Cornyn had been the candidate, not a chance in hell.
Talarenko thinks there are what, five different genders, six different genders?
Well, listen, I think Rolling Stone magazine said there's 76
Oh,
genders.
sorry. Well, then he's way off. What a kook then, huh?
Now, I'm an old man, and I really believe that there's. I shouldn't say this because I think. I mean, you were either gay or you were heterosexual or homosexual. I mean, I'm not even sure I bought bisexual, to be honest with you. Bisexual is just indecisiveness.
I can't disagree with that.
But I'm an old man. And I support transgender rights. I believe if you think you're a dog or a tree or a man or a woman, I am cool with that. Although I will tell you, people who have their tongues split because they think they're lizards, I got to tell you, I'm not sure I understand that.
I was in, I forget what store the other day. There was a 20 something in front of me who was dressed as a bunny rabbit. And she had the makeup and the whole, she was a bunny rabbit.
Wow.
Yet
Wow.
she was buying shit at Hannaford. So I didn't know they sold rabbit food
They're
there.
not a Playboy bunny rabbit you're talking
No, not that kind of. I would support that kind of bunny
about. All right.
rabbit.
Do they still have, oh,
All
shoot.
right. So did you spill your coffee?
I spilled all my, so hold on one sec. I
All right.
spilled all my
So
dog, I spilled all my dog.
nice chair, Ken. All right. So
You keep
you
talking.
you 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 led us to a segue that I hadn't expected with your transgender thing, which leads us to the Secretary of State Shenna Bellows announcing yesterday that the transgender compete against girls sports question will not be on the ballot this fall because apparently the signatures were not validated or whatever the case may be.
That
But
wasn't
of
political. That wasn't political.
course not. Not at all. So that will not be on the ballot.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't think we've had this discussion.
Mhm.
And one of your daughters, Amy, was a highly successful high school athlete, a very
What my
good
son?
basketball player.
Yeah.
You want, you're okay with boys playing against her,
Oh,
trans?
here's my view on this. Uh, I think it's a very bad issue for Democrats. And I think the Democrats have been very bad at coming up with a response that I think is palatable, which is co-ed sports. I think they should have a third division. I think there should be men, boys division, girls division, and a co-ed division. I I hate to say analogizes to pickleball, but in pickleball we have men's tournaments, women tournaments, and co-ed tournaments. You
Mm.
can play a mix of men and women. Now that's not politically correct exactly, but I think I think it's more sellable. Okay, now there are. I thought Rick Bennett's speech in the legislature was impressive for a conservative, and he is conservative. And I think that there are some girls who, I mean, Amy would probably not have been offended by it, but there are some girls who do. And I don't have any problem with segregating sports by gender. I think the Pennsylvania case was a really bad example. I think, although the man to woman came in last place in the NCAA national swim meets, but so I'm not transgender. I don't think transgender men to women do that so they can win a medal by beating a bunch of girls. I don't think that's why they do it. I think they really think that they're They're women and men's body, and I know men who feel they're men and women's bodies. But there's an easy solution, and I don't know why the Democrats haven't embraced it, to be honest with you.
So let's move on from that. So let's go to Graham Plattner and
Wait. What's your response to my premise about this hurting the Republicans in the Senate?
oh, the Cornyn thing, the and the Massey and all that.
Yeah.
Um, it isn't going to help them. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, fair enough.
And as for the influence that Trump has over Republicans, how's that different? Taking Biden out of the equation, how's that different from any other previous president's influence over his party?
Well,
If
but I think,
George W. Bush had handpicked a guy or Obama had handpicked a candidate, it's the same thing.
well, here's what I think the difference is. Trump's 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 decision is based on who's been loyal to him. Now, that I'm not saying that that's not necessarily true with other presidents. I'm sure there's many presidents out there who are pissed off at somebody and won't support him. I got that. But the campaign of retribution, I mean, Massey because of the Epstein files, that's what his gripe was. Paxton, he said John Cornyn didn't support him fast enough. I mean, you had Republicans begging Trump to stay out of it. Okay, don't endorse Cornyn if you don't want to. Paxton Paxton's got some baggage, some major baggage, enough to have him lose the election. Probably not, but he's a he's a flawed candidate, and so I think it certainly, of course, people, but you don't see a lot of presidents endorsing people in primaries. That's unusual, okay? Very rarely do a president pick a candidate, one party candidate over the other, okay? So I think it's different, and I think it's personal, and I think that's who Donald Trump is.
I don't disagree with you. So that means I agree with you, as you heard to say.
Okay, now let's talk about Plattner.
All right, Bernie Sanders in Maine over the weekend. Which rally did you go to for Graham Plattner, Ken? You go to the one up north or the one down in Portland?
So here's what I have to say about that. I have some major issues about supporting Graham Plattner. I honestly, sincerely believe that character should matter. I've criticized the Republicans for supporting Donald Trump on the character issue. And I think it's hypocritical to say, yeah, but Plattner, make excuses. Is he worse than Donald Trump? I put him on par with Donald Trump. I think he is. Can people change? Of course they can change. Do I buy Plattner's change? I I don't know the guy, but he said some really bad. I mean, forget the Nazi thing. I suppose you could not know it's a Nazi tattoo, maybe. But his comment about women and blacks and police officers,
There's a
it's,
laundry list every day. It gets longer every day. And the look, you know, the character issue you mentioned, he's got posts on Twitter and tweets on Twitter and Facebook the last few days really hitting it hard about how Susan Collins is corrupt. Now, Susan Collins is a lot of things. You may disagree with her on a lot of things. And I think there's a certain amount of corruptness with all of these people who get elected. They do take advantage of things, some more than others.
yeah.
But Susan Collins would be voted least likely to be corrupt. She's a lot of things. She certainly is
Yeah.
not.
Look, I like Susan Collins. You know that personally. I think that she's a moderate when it's convenient. She votes against Donald Trump when it doesn't matter. But she's not corrupt. She's brought a ton of money into Maine, but not corruptly. I mean, Donald Trump has made his family very wealthy, in my opinion, corruptly. But Susan Collins being the chair of the appropriations, that's why seniority counts. She's not corrupt. I don't agree with all of her votes, and I believe that the Senate is about judicial confirmations and presidential elections are about Supreme Court nominations. So this is the one time Senate races that I will consider voting against a party or a candidate who will go along. And Susan Collins is consistent. She's voted. She's confirmed, the nominations of Democrats and I don't know. I don't know what.
He's one of those who falls into the category of the nominee serves at the pleasure of the president and
and I
rubber stamping it.
and that is true. And I agree with that. I didn't agree with the Kavanaugh Gorsuch, I agreed with. I thought Gorsuch was certainly qualified to be a Supreme Court judge, no doubt about it. And I supported that. Kavanaugh, I don't think did, not because of the allegations of abuse to those allegations. It was because of his judicial demeanor during the hearings was stunning. A judge can't behave like that. I don't care how personally attacked you are. And so I didn't agree with that nomination, but she's not corrupt. Now, you brought up before this about Dennis Bailey saying that Janet Mills should get back in the
Well,
race.
no, no, no. Dennis posted on Facebook this
Yeah,
morning a story. I think it's Washington Monthly
yeah,
Journal or
yeah.
something like that. Some column, and I very briefly had a chance to read it. So I didn't retain much of it. But the premise is that she should unsuspend her campaign and give Democrats a choice coming up here in what, 2 weeks? Less than
Well, she's
less.
on the ballot.
She's on the ballot, so I guess the choice is still there. But I think it would be fun if she actually got back into it full blast and went after Plattner. And because there was a Democrat from Massachusetts, a congressman, who came out yesterday and said that he found the Plattner Nazi thing and the whole thing alarming, and he's the only Democrat to say that. And of course, he's been castigated,
Yeah.
far and wide for it.
Well,
That's where we are now. You can't, if you break the party, if you go
well,
out
and
with the
that's the
family.
problem. The problem with, and why, going back to the very first thing I brought up, the reason if the Democrats don't take over the Senate, it's because they can't get out of their own way. They cannot, you've got to be moderate. You've got to be left of center. And being a progressive is not going to win over independence. Being a MAGA is not going to win over independence. What wins over independence is that you are ethical, moral. That I do think that there are people out there who believe that character matters. And if it comes down to a choice between two people, one who's morally flawed and one who is not, I think people would prefer the morally unflawed person. I would. And Jenna Mills, I'm not voting in the primary. I can't
and and
vote.
and and Democrats may find this distasteful, who think Plattner's awesome. If Susan Collins is defeated by Graham Plattner, Maine should be prepared to lose at least hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more than that. And
True.
and and look, this is how the game is played in the Senate. We may not like it. We may find it extremely distasteful. But the more seniority you get, the longer you're there, the more the power she has
Absolutely.
is something that is huge.
Which is
And
why you and I now believe in term limits.
right, because it shouldn't be like that. It
No, I
shouldn't
agree.
be a woman's been in the Senate for 30 years or anybody. And so they accrue all of this vacation time,
I
and
agree
that
100%.
allows them to, oh, you want a post office here? Fine. Oh, you want an airport, fixed up? Fine. Oh, you want some infrastructure money for bridges and roads, which we certainly need? Oh, here you go. They can do that, and Graham Plattner can't.
And by the way, every time somebody says how Mills was so good at fixing the bridges, I say, yeah, that's federal money. That's not state money.
No, and you know what? And every governor has been a failure. LePage was
Yeah.
fixing bridges and roads is never going to happen in this state.
Yeah, we got two because
Never.
the weather's so bad. What did you think about Plattner endorsing his three gubernatorial candidates? I had to laugh about it. First of all,
The
if I was
funniest thing,
Shaw, I'd be pretty pissed off about that.
is Troy Jackson, who's the ultimate insider, by the way. He's been in the Maine legislature for 20 years, 6 of those years as the president of the Senate, but he's the outsider who's going to come in and fix everything. He's part of the problem. And then you've got Shaw, who's the ultimate carpetbagger, who just showed up here and for some reason has caught fire with Democrats. Ken, I got to tell you, some of your Democrat friends, they need to have their fucking heads examined for
I hear
supporting
you.
that guy. And so yeah, you got Plattner and Shenna Bellows, who's just gone power hungry. I mean, she is just gone. She has anybody checked her for rabies? She's like rabid.
Look, her decisions have been political, but I just can't. Her ads are just so
Oh,
bad.
the jump
Well,
in
I know
the
that was better than she's doing the Safe House ad.
oh, I know. Oh, I know. Which she she's the one who put her address out there. She's a complete
And let me
absolute.
also say, and
Oh,
I thought Hannah was going to get the nomination going away. I'm not crazy about having your kids in television ads, politically, or if you're selling furniture. Uh, I must say, I just think kids in commercials, there's the Chapter 11 furniture place and has that cute little
all right.
girl.
All right, that's one thing.
Iman,
You
no,
sell, you're selling furniture. I know, but you're selling furniture, and you got this Jordan Wood who's running for Congress in the second district as a Democrat against Baldacci, and who's the other Democratic candidate? Oh, Matt Dunlap.
no.
And Jordan Wood is gay and he has a baby with his husband or whatever.
I didn't know that.
He's used that baby as a prop in
Yes.
some of his campaign ads. And now this morning, I just saw on Twitter, just before he came on, his husband, in a picture holding their baby, announcing the fact that their baby's going to have a baby sister because apparently a surrogate, obviously, is having a baby. I,
Okay,
I,
so here's my question. Here's my question.
make
Who
it
in the
stop.
second district? He has maybe the first district he could win, maybe not against Shelley, but you know what I'm
Well,
saying.
he's polling at 15%.
Yeah, yeah. I listen. As you know, I embrace anybody who wants to be gay, heterosexual, transgender. I believe that it's the focus on the transgender issue. Getting back to that, it's really a matter of human rights. It's really not a matter of what people should focus on is that there should not be bigotry and prejudice against transgenders. I think the issue about competing in sports is a different issue.
It's a different issue.
And I do think it's a solution without a problem because it just doesn't happen that much. But if you're going to be political, make political decisions that are smart. And the political decisions of the Democrats are we have a big umbrella, we embrace everyone, but we start from a moderate position. We start from a position in the middle. We don't want higher taxes. We think the way tax money
What
should be
did you just
spent,
say? We all want higher
we
taxes?
don't want higher
Oh, okay.
taxes. And the difference between Republicans and Democrats, in my view, is not, I don't like to pay taxes. I hate paying taxes. I hate the IRS. The IRS is listening. I'm honest about my taxes, but I hate you. I just want to be really clear on this. But I object to how the money is spent. I don't like the budget. I don't like 40% of the budget going to defense. I just don't like it. I,
Well, and I'll tell you what I don't like is I don't like this goddamn fucking war. I think Trump totally fucked up on this.
you
Uh,
know, the,
and
the
this is
irony.
bullshit. This is not the MAGA that I voted for, and a lot of my and I'm not. I don't know what a MAGA is, but what Trump sold me was take care of America, America first, yada yada yada, and this is a mistake um, on many different fronts. Most of all, the gas prices and how that is going to crush Republicans because they're going to be tied in with Trump. And whether you believe that the president is tied to gas prices or not, in this case, I think he is.
No doubt about it in this
Again,
case.
I'm no economist. I'm not Milton Friedman. I'm an idiot when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, it's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt a lot
I
with
agree
Republicans, and
100%.
it's going to hurt in 28 if Vance is the nominee, or even if it's Marco Rubio, no matter who it is, it's going to hurt because they're going to be tied to Trump, and Republicans have embraced the president, and I'm fine with that. But I don't support this war, and I think it's a huge mistake. Some of my friends are on board with it that are conservative. Some of them are not, and Iran's been a problem for 50 years and all that, and I get that. Keep our fucking eyes on them. They get out of line, then we start shooting guns at them.
Let me ask you a question. Did the regime in Iran change? Let me think about this. No, it got worse. This guy's he's more repressive than his father is, for God's sake. You know, the the whole purpose. Look, he got sucked in by Bibi, who is a criminal and should and has made his bed with the conservatives in Israel who are radical and insane. And every president from George Bush on knew better than to listen to anything Bibi said to him, except one. And he got sucked in because you know why? Donald Trump believes the intelligence community is against him. And so he trusted Israeli intelligence. And they said, look what happened in Venezuela. That worked great. This will be the same thing. Regime change, democracy, you're a hero. No, 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 no.
Nope, I'm not on board with it, Ken. And
And by the
I
way,
don't need to have my arm twisted.
the results are going to be, if he's lucky, the Obama deal, if he's lucky, now Iran, you've taught them that they're in complete control of the Strait of Hormuz, complete control of it, and he's going to give them a bucket load of money. What did he say about Barack Obama? You're absolutely right. And good for you for acknowledging that. Insane, stupid. And Donald Trump is not a stupid man.
So, so on July 4th, when I come to the famous Altshuler Doyle Christmas party, and I'm accosted immediately by
4th of July, not Christmas party.
4th of July party. When I'm accosted immediately by BB Buell, I can tell her that I am not on board with the war.
You do that. But before you do that, do me a favor, tell me that you need something in the house so I can excuse myself. All right,
Jesus,
my
I
friend.
got waylaid right off, man. You
I
got
know,
a
I know.
security guard. I got to have somebody with me.
Bring a guest with you. Bring up.
If there's any women out there who would like to come to Ken Altshuler's 4th of July Christmas party with me, feel free to email me right now.
No, if you really want to show how enlightened you are, I'm sure there's some transgenders who would find you very attractive.
I don't dig trans. I don't want chicks with dicks. Sorry. It's not my
All
that's
right.
my thing.
I think with that, it is time for us to say goodbye.
Okay.
You have a great day, my friend.
See you next week.